Now, the ANC in the Northern Cape has called off its John Taole Gaetsewe regional conference at Kuruman. Delegates started arriving only at 10 p.m, some 13 hours after the official start of the conference. It was supposed to be the last regional conference of the ANC in the province before the party heads for the Provincial conference next week. Some ANC members alleged the province sabotaged the conference as there was a strong group vying for regional leadership and opposed to Northern Cape Provincial Chairperson Zamani Saul. Our reporter Ulrich Hendriks has the story.
So last night, just after 10 o'clock, the Provincial ANC chair here in the Northern Cape, Dr. Zamani Saul, announced that they indefinitely postponing the John Taole Gaetsewe Provincial Regional Conference. That was about 13 hours after it was supposed to start. But talk to us a bit about this more. We've got Hendriks. He's the Provincial Secretary of the ANC here in Northern Cape. Mr. Nganga, tell us, why was the conference postponed?
I'm sure when you arrived at the venue of the conference, all PEC members were there. By 9 o'clock, all of us were there. The conference was scheduled to start at 10 o'clock. We expected 270 voting delegates that were invited, and we were told that 95% were registered. But in terms of the ANC constitution, in the venue of the conference, we only had 92. And in terms of the constitution of the ANC, before we can start with the conference, we needed 50 plus 1. It means that we needed roughly 136 delegates inside conference. So we could not get the 136. And as a result, the provincial chair had to take to the podium around 10 o'clock at night to call it off. Remember, this is a regional conference. You need to account for the work of the past 3 years. You need to table a political overview, an organizational report, the treasurer's report, and after that, branches must be given an opportunity to engage with that report. But besides engaging with that report, you also need to chart the way forward. You need to develop a program of action for the next 3 years. So delegates could not attend, and by 10 o'clock we're left with 2 hours before the curfew kicked in. Provincial Chairperson was then forced to call it off.
Mr. Nganga, there are accusations from branch members, who says that when you guys took over the province then it started, the problem started with the registration and the various branches members that were not registered.
It's practice in the ANC. The region doesn't carry on with their things on their own. You have what is called the Provincial Executive Committee. The PEC is having oversight responsibilities over the regions and the branches. So our presence here cannot be seen as an impediment. It should be empowering. I spent the whole week here working with the regional secretary and other members of the regional executive committee to ensure that we have a smooth conference. Unfortunately, that could not take place as a result of the problems that we experienced. We've called a meeting on Monday, Provincial Executive Committee, to reflect and analyze what transpired here, and then we'll take a decision what should be the way going forward.
We've got about 7 days before, actually less than 7 days before the provincial conference start due in Springbok. Is that in any danger?
It's in no danger at all. Remember, branches here, even in this region, convene PPGMs, and they nominated delegates out of their own that must go and attend. The regional executive committee were allocated 2 delegates. It means, what that means is that those 2 delegates won't be able to participate as voting delegates in the conference because the structure is not in good standing. Or else branches would be allowed to participate in the region. We've allocated 3 per branch.
You said indefinitely about this conference, so that is what you'll be discussing on Monday, whether to go ahead, when to go ahead, and what to do about the situation.
Yes, the modalities will be discussed on Monday. Remember, they are over their term of office. They were supposed to have gone to regional conference already by December, but then they were given a lifeline due to COVID. But now we've given them an opportunity to convene. Delegates didn't pitch up at conference. We are in a real predicament here. So we'll have to reflect on Monday and take serious decisions regarding the future of the region.
Just one last question about that provincial conference. Who's going to be the keynote speaker and what do you expect there?
We extended an invitation to the president of the ANC, Comrade Ramaphosa, to address us on Friday. And we are optimistic that he's going to make it for that conference. Remember, he never misses conferences of the Northern Cape. The last time he was here, and this time around, we expect him to come and give us a good political overview and input so that we should know what to do coming out of that conference.
Thank you very much. Desinganga is, of course, the Provincial Secretary of the ANC here in the Northern Cape, talking about the postponement of the JTG ANC regional conference. Of course, that was supposed to start yesterday at 9 o'clock on Saturday. By 10 yesterday, it hasn't started and they haven't reached the required number of delegates that they needed to start that conference. So that postponed indefinitely. They're saying that on Monday they will take it forward, meeting to discuss, to dissect what has happened and what happens going forward. Back to the studio.